Squid and Man Kisser Matt. Y'all had a mandate last night?
We did. We went to see Book of Mormon at the Tanger Center.
Oh, so romantic.
Yeah. After we discussed and gave Katie a hard time for getting tickets, we ended up, because we talked about it, a listener called in, Savannah, shouts out, and she said, I have 2 extra tickets. I'm not going to be able to go. If you would like them, y'all can have them.
Oh, how nice.
And so I asked, and Squid was like, yeah, let's do it. So Squid and I went to see Book of Mormon together last night.
Well, and Squid sent a text that said that, what was it, that God wanted you to be there.
God wanted me to be there, and the devil tried his hardest to keep me from going.
Instantly.
But you know, God prevailed, and we had a great night.
And who took who home?
You'll have to wait and listen to see.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, we're now. It's now. It's time. Go ahead.
So me and Matt met there at the Tanger Center, and when we were running a little late, and the parking lot I normally go to was completely full because it was packed. It was packed. The most, like you said, the most crowd I've ever seen. Couldn't find a parking spot. As soon as I get out of my car, closing my door, I see my keys in the ignition. Lock my keys in my car.
Squid.
And so at this point, I'm walking up. I'm like thinking, you know what? Maybe I was thinking twice about coming. I was like, I'm tired. I don't know if I feel like going. So that happens. I'm like,
you weren't gonna ditch me for
bailing too.
Well, no, I wasn't. But until I locked my keys in my car, I'm like, well, damn. I was like, I might just call Matt and tell him that, I'm just gonna have to get my keys out of my car. Don't worry about me. And then I called my mom, and I had the spare key at the house, and she said she'd come and drop it off. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna leave Matt hanging. Let's just go, to the show. And then my mom's just gonna text me, and whenever she pulls up to the Tanger Center, I'm gonna walk outside, grab my key, come back in. And so,
of course, we're like, it's gonna be right in the middle of a song or something.
Of course,
he's gonna miss part of the show.
Yeah, and so for the first part of the show, I'm kind of like, if my phone ever vibrates, I'm checking it, making sure it's not her, kind of worrying. And this is the first sign that God wanted me to be there. I thought about not going because the devil locked my keys in my car. Not me. The devil did.
The devil did.
Yes. My mom, she texts and calls me. It's the second the intermission starts.
As soon as the intermission hits.
Oh,
wow.
Yes. Hey.
Second intermission starts. I go outside, grab my key, real quick exchange, come back in. I'm walking back up the steps at the inside. And as you guys know, I'm a big Miami Dolphins fan. I had my Dolphins Dan Marino hat on.
You wore a hat to the theater?
Yeah, because I had bedhead. I took a nap.
Squid.
You can only do that if you're bald. It has to be a fedora.
Squid.
But no, this is the reason why. Another reason why God wanted me to be there. And the reason why he turned the devil's trick of locking my keys in my car into a blessing. Because that's what God does.
That's right.
And
I'm
so
with you.
so I'm walking back up the steps, and a man, he's dressed very nice. He has this, it's almost like a salmon tailored suit.
Oh.
And this undershirt, is white with a little teal floral. And he's like, "Excuse me, sir." He was like, "How long have you been a Miami Dolphins fan?" And I was like, "My whole life." And he was like, "Man, I'm from Miami. I live up here now. I fly back every week for my job.
Would you like a Rolex?"
And my wife and I. He's like, my wife and I. We have season tickets every year.
No.
We started talking back and forth.
No.
And then I was like, "Yeah, I went to my first game last year." And he was like, "You've been a friend your whole life, and last year was your first game." I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "You want to come down with us the home opener?"
No.
And I was like,
serious?
I was like, "Yes,
This is
I
a
would love
throuple.
to." Shouts out my boy Don. I was like, "Yes, I would love to." We exchanged numbers with the little bell went off. It's like,
Are you going to bring condoms? You better.
In Miami, in Miami,
Yeah, you will.
For the throuple.
Oh, that too, yeah.
He's like, "You give me tickets to a football game? Sure.
So you're saying
Whatever."
a random guy randomly come up to you, invited you to the home opener, he probably was like, "Look at this little boy here. I see the Pontiac.
Thought he
He
was
needs the money.
homeless.
Right.
Yeah.
He is gonna tear you up."
It's worth it to see the fins in Miami.
Don't care.
It's worth it.
That
That's
never
awesome.
happens to anybody else I
No.
know.
No.
Ever.
We had some other guy that was like, "Hey, come on my yacht."
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At that jewelry store
The jewelry
that we
store,
all
yeah.
know and been trying to be friends with for years
Yeah.
and years.
Shout out to my boy Vance.
And so Squid comes back and sits down, and as soon as he sits down, he's got a Pepsi and some Crunch and Munch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dang, dude, you got the best snack here." And he goes, "Yeah." And I just got invited to Miami to see the Dolphins play.
You're like, "What is
I'm like,
happening?"
I thought you went out there to get a key from your mom because you left your keys in your car.
Yes, I did.
That's how it played out.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I wore a Commander's hat there, and somebody punched me in the face.
He said, "No hats
I'm
allowed."
like, "Get out of here, loser!" And okay, that's fine.
What'd y'all think of the show, Book of Mormon?
Fantastic.
It
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Very funny.
Did you
Really?
laugh?
Yes, the most I ever laughed.
No way.
And I'll have to say, Jason, you have to
know.
go.
Really?
You have to
to.
go.
Oh, man.
Because if you go, Jason, you will have so much firepower and Derek gets scared the next time you argue. And I have to say, Katie, when Jared asked, like, oh, is it just slandering like the religion? You're like, no, it's funny. Katie is lying like a dog on a sled.
I know she's lying.
It is 100% slander.
But not just for
it
the
is
Mormon
hilarious.
religion.
Katie has gaslit me on this play for years because I've read the lyrics to like a lot of the songs. I'm like, yes, this is like slamming us nonstop.
Wait a minute, they did an entire play that millions of people probably see against the religion?
It's not against the. It's
Squid.
not anti-Mormon. It is not
It's
anti-Mormon
not.
at
It's
all.
not. It's,
Like
it's
anti-religion.
making.
No, well-
It's joking about the extreme beliefs that Mormons might believe.
Yes.
Might believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
And
funny as hell.
It was. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't realize until Matt told me that the creators of South Park wrote the whole
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Right.
And you
Oh,
can see
really?
it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
No, that changes everything.
in
Jason.
the opening, and I was so excited when like Matt told me that. We sat down and he told me that, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't know that yesterday because I would have been even more mad at Katie that she's the only one got to go. And then like the very beginning, the opening scene, the narrator of South Park's narrating what's happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
It's
amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
It
No,
is.
they have some sort of connection with our church for some reason because they did Trey Parker, Matt
Yeah.
Stone, one of them, if
Well,
not
so
both.
I read because I asked
Okay.
you if there was a connection.
I
Because
read about it. I can't remember.
like they had to do a lot of research on for if they're writing the play, they knew a lot, it seemed.
Right.
And it turns out that one of the writers, one of the guys from South Park, was dating a girl one time who was Mormon,
Yeah.
but she broke up with him and broke his heart. And so
This
I don't
makes
know if
sense
it's
now.
like I don't know if that's
Well,
the
no,
only
because,
inspiration,
you know,
but
like serial killers typically, seriously,
Yeah.
male and mostly males, they usually are killing some woman over and over again that broke their heart.
yeah.
So now his
Yeah.
thing is attacking because they have a movie, Jason, that you probably may Google by accident called Orgasmo, where they did a whole movie, Matt Parker and Trey Stone, about Mormon missionaries who they're trying to get to be in a porn.
yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, so I mean, they attack everybody, but they did a whole play and movie about our religion.
I don't know, and
Yeah.
there might be more to the connection because they're
That
from
makes a lot of
Colorado,
sense,
but
though.
there was that one little piece of information because my husband and I thought they've got to be,
I thought
maybe
somebody used to
members
grow
of the
up,
church.
grew up and left or whatever.
I wasn't sure, but the reason I do not gaslight you.
You did. You're doing
I
it. You're doing it
don't.
now. You're gaslighting about not
just tell
gaslighting.
you that if you're gonna laugh
I would
at
laugh.
everything
I have
else
the darkest humor
and
on
have
earth.
the darkest humor about everybody else,
But
but you
no,
won't see it, then
But
it's
I
like
wouldn't go to a look. I love Tanger and I love all their plays. I know
Yes.
Book of Mormon's been people love it.
yeah.
I wouldn't go to something called like the Pope play.
I
just
would.
wouldn't- I'm saying
If it was
I
funny.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I
It was
would.
No,
funny.
I
It was
wouldn't
funny.
though, and I've been consistent
Yeah.
with that. I've asked Katie before, and she doesn't care. But I'm like, hey, there's a joke about the
I
Pope
don't
in this
care.
thing. I think I'm gonna take it out
Yeah.
because it has always made me feel uncomfortable. Religious jokes. Period.
Oh,
That's just
well.
me though. That's me.
It certainly doesn't seem to be that way at Tanger because that's what
No,
night
not Tanger.
2
It's
that it was
worldwide.
Yeah.
where for the audience. I won't say Tanger, but the audiences who have the tickets, who are buying the tickets, don't seem.
No.
I mean, I know you were in the Bible Belt, but
Yeah.
it does not
Oh,
seem
but
to
there's a lot of
be affecting that at all. And what's funny is funny, whether you know.
Yeah, but
Yes.
her saying it
Funny.
doesn't attack the religion, it totally does, right, Squid?
Well,
But Christianity and religion in general, it's not like Mormons are terrible people. It doesn't say that
Well,
ever.
and at one point, there's a joke where some of the elders are joking. They're like, "Oh, that's not us. That's Christians."
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
they
they're
did say
trying
that
to
once.
separate it
Yeah.
at one point during the play. The weird part for me though was when we were leaving, seeing everybody with the ash on their forehead for Ash Wednesday. I was like, I would have come another night.
Are the Catholics the only one? We're not the only ones who do ashes, though, right? I don't.
I-
I see
I-
ash distribution everywhere.
Well, not yesterday, but Presbyterians, we do it.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
I think I saw probably 15 to 20 people with the ash on their
Which
head.
I did tell you guys. I'm really glad I didn't go on Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because
It just feels
it
weird,
felt
right?
a little weird.
Oh, there
little-
was somebody
little
sitting
weird.
right in front of me that as soon as it was over, they said, I think we should go to church. I think we should go to church now. We need to go this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, our church has used this play to promote our church.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they haven't boycotted it. They just don't do stuff
No.
like that.
No.
There's an ad. Maybe not in the Tanger
they've been in
booklet,
other
but in
ones.
other booklets where they take out an ad, and they do use the of Latter-day Saints. You know how you always use the
Yeah,
official
Oh
name of your
yeah,
church.
it made
Whole
sense
song.
now. That little clip we've played before.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
It was
Latter-day
from that.
Saints.
Right,
Yeah,
Latter-day
it
Saints. Yeah.
made sense. And I'll say the only thing that could have made it better is if you were there
I know.
next to me, Jared. Just because, like, I'm so curious of what your
Yes.
reaction would be.
I would be trying to find.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't do that. No, that's an exaggeration.
That's
I know,
over-exaggerated.
Not
that,
now,
but-
Jared.
Yeah.
We could stop talking during the play.
No, Matt, we are Christians. It's a joke. I get it. Now, to not be a hypocrite, though, I was watching South Park last night for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
The Meghan Markle
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's so funny.
I can see why she wants to sue. It's so brutal.
It is.
They like call her a dumb bee and all this stuff, but they don't ever say her name. It's
Right.
the prince and his wife
Uh-huh.
from Canada. They're
From
From
Canada.
Canada. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
you see? You laugh
No,
at that
I
one.
know, and I've
Yes.
always said that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it existing. I just have never been good with religious humor.
Well,
that's not my thing.
It is, and that's why I was so surprised, and I get it now because it has been so busy and tickets have been sold. I don't think sold out is the term that they use, but well sold, right? When we got the limited release media tickets, I was really, really upset. I didn't know we had that because I wanted to sit beside Jason during the show.
Oh, yeah.
I told him that months ago. I said, please, 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 when we go, make sure that your ticket is beside me.
Right.
Because I said, and bring a piece of paper and a pencil, somebody to write with, so that you can write down all the questions you're going to have for Jared after.
All
of your
Katie does not say anything about
All
our
of your because
How do
Jason.
you even have questions if there's nothing about our
Because
church?
you know how Jason is.
Oh,
When
I
he
know.
watches a movie, he's like, now, why are they ringing the
Well,
doorbell?
first
Yeah.
they would start with, why are they on a stage? Why are they singing? Where are we? Like, it starts with a very basic question.
I could just imagine him
Oh
and the
my gosh,
questions
yes.
and the observations like,
Mm-hmm.
do you? It would
Yeah.
be. It
Yeah.
would have been
No.
so entertaining.
No, yes, no, yes, no.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
Oh, wow.
Because I think, yeah,
Next time, a couple years from now.
Yeah.
like how you say sometimes the church puts an advertisement in the pamphlets for
Yeah.
the plays. That makes a lot of sense because you do leave, like me not knowing much about the religion, you do leave with so many questions. Like, do they do this? Do they do that? Do they do this? Do they do that?
But don't you leave thinking, oh, they're really weird, probably.
Oh, 100%. It's like if I
that's the
were
point.
to read it, I would read it to be like, no effing way. You know?
It's really in here. Continue to gaslight me right now.
So Jason,
We have millions of people leaving all year long from
Do
10
not.
years thinking that we're like freaking weirdos.
I do not. You know what I left thinking is the cast is super talented. The songs were super catchy. The
Yeah.
acting was unreal. The stage was so cool. The creativity is off the charts. That's what
I
I left
agree.
thinking.
Well, because
I agree.
all the characters are meant to be like 19 years old, so it's
Yeah.
what would typically be going through a 19-year-old's head. Only really one of them is really out there. The rest of them, I would say, they're 19-year-olds. They don't get it. Their priorities are in a different spot.
and they're naive, and they're
Yeah.
like going to a different place that is
Right.
completely opposite of all that they've ever known. Yeah,
I
so
went to Africa too.
yeah,
I could have been in the play.
you
Yeah.
could have
Oh, yeah.
been.
And the main character's name is Elder Price. I'm
Very
like,
close.
dude, this is too close.
Elder Pike.
Went on a mission to
Price.
Africa. I went to South
He
Africa.
thought he was a big
Oh, yeah.
deal. You think you're a big deal.
That's what I'm saying. There's one song about what is it
Do they
called?
have a character that
Us, but
gaslights
mostly
the elder
There's a
and
song called
lies to them
Us.
about everything?
It's the song called "You and Me, but Mostly Me," and it's
mostly me.
and I
Where's
told
my
Squidward.
royalties?
Oh my god.
I told Squidward, I said, "This is the song in here. This is what it's about." And he said, "Oh, it's Jared's anthem."
Yeah, it is. Like, I want you to have success. We're gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. But mostly, I'm gonna be those
Yeah.
things.
Let's be clear here. But mostly
Yeah.
me.
I'm the main dish. You're the side dish. Let's go. Let's roll.
Yeah, you can be on the table, but let's really focus on me.
Everybody deserves blessings. Everyone's loved by the Lord, but mostly me.
Mostly me.
Yes.
Mostly
Yes.
me.
But yeah, Jason, even if you go by yourself, you have to go.
Have
Because
to.
if you do, the next time you and Jared get into an argument on air, you can
Yeah.
just unload.
That's fine. That's fine with me. I've heard it all. Trust me.
Jason getting the lottery,
I got
$25
to.
tickets.
I
Yeah.
gotta see it. One way or another.
If you have tickets and you can't go, and you'd like to give them to Jason, call us 800-682-1075.
I think y'all two should go together.
I think
that
you
would be
should.
great.
Oh no, but I want to witness it. I'll buy a ticket. I will buy a ticket to witness it. I'll get a ticket. Let me know.
All right. All right. I think I have a scheduling conflict.
Instantly.
Jason, I'll go with
Wow.
you.
All right. So, enough about me, although I usually like it
But
about
mostly me.
But mostly
me.
Jared and Katie in the morning, but mostly
mostly Jared.
Mostly.
If he had his way.
No, that's not
Oh,
true.
I know.
It would just be Jared in the morning. All right. No.
We know.